Yo guys, Joseph Bryan here, back with another video. Today is something different, something I really wanted to talk about. I think it's a very important subject, and it's one of the biggest struggles everyone deals with, essentially. I know you're probably wondering why am I like sweating so much on my forehead and stuff. It's so hot today. I mean, it doesn't help me wearing this. I'm just wearing this to, be presentable. But yeah, super hot. Anyway, today's topic, as you can tell by the title, is how to be confident without being too confident, without being overconfident, right? Because it's great to be confident because, if you go out with confidence, you come out with a better positive mindset, better belief. There's scientific research that you'll be able to do better. You'll be able to do more risky things that you wouldn't have been able to even approach or attempt if you were, consumed by fear. And, the fear is the poison to confidence, if you like. It's not thinking you're good enough. It's the almost like this evilness inside you that you're not worthy enough. You're a schmuck to even go out and try it, But that's why I think confidence is so important, and it's not something which comes naturally. No one's born naturally confident. It's something you develop, and mainly something you develop through experiences. And I feel, and the reason why I think that it's good to talk about this topic is because of the experiences I've had with speaking engagements, singing at open mics, acting performances, sports and stuff like that. With everything included in that, I've developed a lot of confidence and a lot of other things to support my confidence as well. So I want to give you a couple of tips. I'm going to give you 4 major tips on how to be more confident without being too overconfident. So rule number 1, stop caring about what other people think about you. And the reason why is because when you start worrying about what other people think about you, their opinions, you start to become inauthentic. You start to become someone that you're not, right? Think about it this way. You go to a club and you see a pretty girl, and you're seen as quite an introverted, maybe quite a nerdy kind of person. So when you go to approach her, you try to act differently. You try to act cool, you try to impress her and all that kind of stuff. And you were this introverted, nerdy kid before who was all in his own mind and stuff. But then as soon as you went to her, you were all confident, you were sparkly, bubbly, you're trying to impress her too much. And the thing is, humans are the greatest bullshit detectors in the world. Especially girls, people can easily see through other people's lies, right? So especially if you try to overdo it or you sound over sarcastic, right? It's just people can easily sense it, right? People can easily see when someone is bullshitting. So how can you still be confident in that situation, but not too overconfident to the point where you're inauthentic? Well, that's the case of just being yourself, right? I think it's a massive ego thing, right? Because think about it. Why would you be worried about yourself so much that you start acting like someone else? Because you're worried about what other people think about you. You see what I mean? The ego thing is selfish. So you're worried about how other people see you. You don't want to be viewed in a bad, negative way, so you'll act differently to be liked by them. And this is a really bad thing because, yeah, you can try and act it out. Acting is made for the acting industry. It's not made for the real world. People want to see real people. That's how you develop trust. That's how you develop friends, right? You've tried to act like something you're not for too long, it will feel like shit, it'll break you down. And people can probably see you easily. If they don't see you at the start, they'll definitely notice you throughout changes, through things that you like, things that you say, the promises that you keep, everything. So if you want to be authentic and confident to someone, go up to someone and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to disagree with them, to have difference of opinions, to have different commonalities, right? Because no one's going to judge you if you look different, if you have different commonalities, right? But they want to see honesty. That's the biggest thing in a relationship, right? They want the trust. So instead of me trying to say, oh, I've had all these amazing acting opportunities, I'm rich as fuck, I've got so many friends, just be honest about yourself. If you're someone who's working in an office and not earning that much, just say that. People would probably find you more easy to talk about if you talk about how passionate you are about the things that you're not so abundant in, and be able to listen to you more, instead of you bullshitting and easily being caught bullshitting just so you can impress people. And the problem is, people see when you're trying to impress them too hard. It seems like you're just trying to it's like you're doing an essay for why you're so amazing and why they should listen to you. But people just want to see that you're okay being you. If people see that you're comfortable being yourself and not worrying about what other people think about you, they'll most likely listen to you more, because that's a rare thing in today's society, we try to act differently to fit with big crowds so we can get liked by people and stuff. But if you for me, a big reason why I don't really care about what people think about me when it comes to public speaking or music or singing is because that's something I'm deeply passionate about. I really care about it, right? And people will say, oh, it's weird what you're doing, or you rubbish it, and that's their opinions, and they're entitled to that, so I can't say anything. But if I'm going to seriously change the way that I am and act differently to be liked by people, then I'm not being authentic, and I'm just seeming like a dick, to be honest with you. So yeah, be comfortable being you. Don't be afraid to have difference of opinions, and definitely don't be something you're not. The second of all thing is feel the fear and do it anyway, right? But manage it. So I'll give you an example. If you're someone who's into acting, right? For example, with me, when I've gone to many theatre performances, and it's come to we had rehearsals, and obviously the more you practice, the better your confidence goes. And then on the final day, we go in and everyone's nervous. We're all trying to jump around, getting our body going, feeling energetic, but there's still a bunch of nerves, right? So it takes a lot of confidence to go out there. And even though I felt that fear, even though I had all these thoughts saying, don't go, it's too scary, you're gonna embarrass yourself, because I was with so many people, obviously that did help, but I knew that I had two options. I could either try it, I made a couple of mistakes, or I could not try it and never know what could happen. And the fear of missing out is probably the worst fear of all. Imagine not attempting to do something simply because you were scared that you may not be good enough, or it would turn out the wrong way. The problem is the way we think, the way we perceive the situation. A lot of people see it in a negative way. We think, oh no, it's going to go awful. What do you say before you go to an interview or an exam or to a performance, right? To a theatre performance or a music or an open mic, right? You say to them like, oh, I'm not as good as everyone else. I'm not going to do so well. Is there any point in me even like singing and stuff like that? And we bring ourselves down because we don't have enough self-belief. We don't have the confidence, right? And I'll give you a story. So the first time I went to the open mic, I was meant to sing, but I was so scared and so unconfident because I saw how great everyone was. But I didn't even want to go up and step on stage. I wrote my name on the paper, but I didn't want to go the first time because I was so scared what people think about me. The second time I went, I just thought, screw it, I can't miss another one. Otherwise, I'm just going to waste a bunch of time. I went there, I sang, loads of people liked it, and obviously, the song on Facebook, it got loads of love. Thank you for that as well. And yeah, so that's just another tip. Just don't be more afraid of not finding out of what could have happened, instead of being more afraid of going out and potentially making mistakes, right? Because that's what I'd be more afraid of. So in that case, but in the case of being too overconfident, if there's something which you're not good enough for yet, don't go out and do it, because a lot of people will think that you're too egotistical and they might not trust you again. Remember, ego and trust do not go together, right? I'll give you an example. So, yes, I can sing, I can act, right? But I know with those two levels that I'm not good enough to be performing at festivals or audition at X Factor yet to win. And I know with acting that I'm not good enough to be a leading role or to be a mega movie star, right? I may have the confidence. If someone said to me, oh, would you want to audition for it? I would say no, because I know I'm not ready yet. What's the point of me trying to challenge myself against actors who probably had way more years of experience than me, way more competent than me, and just generally more better than me? There's no point wasting that time. What would be the wiser decision would be to improve my craft more. Maybe have some smaller roles for it. There's going to be huge roles, going to be smaller roles. When you progress with the smaller roles and you get better and better, you'll realize that the subject you're in, whether it's music, whether it's acting or public speaking, you'll get so good at it that eventually in the future, these big roles, you'll be more confident for them and you will be ready for them. And then you can go for the opportunity for them. But, or with football, right? I practiced football for 9 years. Now, I wasn't Lionel Messi type. And, I definitely won't be ready to do a Champions League final. But I'm sure a pretty overconfident person would say, screw it, I'll do it. I'm the best, right? No, you got to do something. You have to be realistic. Being logical and realistic is really important. It's being realistic with how confident you are in something. You have to ask yourself and just be honest with yourself. Am I good enough for this particular task? If not, that's fine. Wait a bit, practice some more, wait until you get better. But otherwise, you're just going to waste opportunities and seem too overconfident, too egotistical. All right, the third tip is having self-belief, but not too much self-belief. So this is, again, similar to the second point, but it's different in a sense. So it's good to have belief of what dreams you can have. It's good to believe that you could be a somebody, right? But you don't want to be too over the top with your belief. And this is more directed to dreams, right? So let's just say, for example, that you're at a level and you say, in 5 years, I want to be earning 6 figures as a public speaker with speaking engagements, right? And that's a doable goal. If you work hard, and I'm sure you invest a lot into it and learn a lot more, then eventually, you could. There's an opportunity that you could earn 6 figures a year from public speaking. However, what would be ludicrous to say would be to say that, I believe that in 2 years' time, I'm gonna have a video. Camera going. I'm gonna have a video which blows up, and I'm gonna be just as big, just as famous as Gary Vee and Tony Robbins. Obviously, that is highly unlikely to happen. It took them over decades to get to where they are now. So me to think that, it's just ludicrous, right? So the confidence part is setting, again, it's logic. Logic and confidence is very good because it gives you that self-belief, but it also fights against your ego, like in saying that, yes, you're very good, but you're not quite that level yet. Keep on going, keep on pushing, but don't go for opportunities which you're not ready for yet. So again, very similar to the second point, but I just want to give you that example in being confident in yourself, setting logical standards, and not being too over the top on your goals. And the fourth one, and I think this is really good, this is more of like exposing yourself, and this is really good for confidence, especially towards toxic masculinity, is exposing how you feel no matter what that feeling is. The problem is with all social media and stuff, right? We have this beautiful thing called filters. We have on Snapchat, we have Instagram, we have every single social in the entire world, right? And it's this way of us going on social media and taking these photos or writing these posts, and we try to paint that we're really super happy. We'll post a photo with our family on holiday, post a photo with our friends, with our dog, with our girlfriend, or out on events and having a great time, right? And we'll post some of our best memories. So other people can comment, we can get like satisfaction from that. We also get more satisfaction and we feel less insecure when we have more likes and we have more love supported to our page, when we have more followers, right? But ultimately we do feel the opposite when the opposite happens. If we don't get as many likes as we did before, we may feel a bit insecure that people aren't appreciating us. And it's almost like we're seeking validation from other people. Again, it's another ego thing. We need other people to certify that we are good enough, right? So I think the best way to overcome that, with all these filters, these Snapchat filters, paint life look amazing, even though behind the camera, behind their personal real life, you never know. They could be going through struggles, they could be really depressed, they could be unhappy as fuck, but they want to show the world that actually they're happy. And this is really bad because, again, with toxic masculinity, it's this notion that us men, we try to make it seem like we're happy, that we're okay with life, but deep down inside we're really unhappy, we're not clear on what our thoughts are and who we are as a person, and it stops us from seeking help. And this is why girls are better with their emotions. They may be more expressive and may not be able to control them that well, but if they do have a problem, if they do feel sad about someone, they will message Jessica from their phone, tell them how sad they are. They'll talk about it on FaceTime for a couple of hours, and afterwards they'll feel better because she had that company to support her. With us men, though, we think differently. We think that if we just hold off our thoughts and what we're thinking and just don't mention it, don't say it, eventually it'll just go away and we won't need to worry about it. But thoughts never ever fade. You can't delete a memory, right? Because think about it, your brain will capture all thoughts, all memory that is gained through its past, right? And unless you have some sort of memory infection like dementia or something, those memories, those thoughts are always still going to be in your mind, right? And you can control your thoughts, from meditation, being healthy in general, make your thoughts better. But there will be some thoughts that not even meditation can stop, right? It's going to be lingering. And the best way to talk about it is to expose them to someone. Because when you expose them to someone, again, you see a constant theme, right? With confidence, it's almost everything is to not worry so much about what other people think about you. You see Gary shouting this out a lot. I want to be I want to be more in depth in the fact that it's a lot to do with ego thing. It's our own personal problems where we are so insecurely worried about other people's validation of us, right? It is why in school we wanted more friends. It's why we wanted a girlfriend. It's why we wanted best friends. It's why we want to be popular. It's why we like all the likes on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Jeez, I'm sweating like a duck in here. But you see what I mean, right? It all links together. So if you go to someone, whether it's your parents, your brother, a close friend of yours, right? And you're feeling some sort of struggle. Maybe you're having a problem right now. I don't know. If it is, please don't feel afraid to talk to anyone. Because there will be one person, there will be someone who will be willing to talk to you about the problems. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, have probably dealt with the same problems you had. If you felt depressed, they probably felt the same. If you felt really anxious, they probably felt the same. If you felt super angry with someone or something, they most likely felt the same. And they probably had the exact or very similar situation, so they'll be able to help you with it because they've had the same experience, right? So again, it's just about like validation. You don't need to seek. I just want to tell anyone now watching this, you don't need to seek anyone's validation to make it seem that you're good enough. The only validation that you need is yourself. The only confidence that you need is your own mind. And this is why like self-talk and being kind and positive self is so important. What do we usually say to ourselves when we're angry or something bad's happened or we hate ourselves? We go, oh, I hate my life. I hate driving to work. Oh, why can't I look better? Why can't I have a six-pack like him? Why can't I blah, 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 right? And we have this like deep insecurity that we're not good enough to impress people, to get liked, to have people, right? And it kills us, right? Because everything in life, we want to be better. We want to be best in some sort of way. We want to be best looking, we want to have the best money, or want to have the best friends, or whatever. But the person who will be the most confident, most comfortable with their life and their surroundings is the person who, at the end of the day, doesn't give a shit what people think about him. And I'll give you a tip. The way I see it, that is anyone give me any sort of negative feedback, if they think I'm shit at singing, if they think I'm bad at public speaking, if they think that, you know, I'm a weird person or something, then my reaction would be, okay, cool, you're entitled to your own opinion. Where do you think I can improve? If someone said, oh, you're really shit at singing, I'd be like, okay, cool. I know I'm not that good yet. Where can I improve? Right? And, you know, if someone was like, you know, really down to earth or humble enough, they might say, oh, maybe you need to improve on your nasal. You sound very nasal when you speak. Right? And in that case, I would say, yeah, cool, I'll improve on that and I'll be better next time. If people say you're really good, take it as a compliment, appreciate it, let it boost your confidence, but don't let it boost your ego, right? Still be humble about it. You don't want people's validation. That's all the opposite as well. You don't want people's validation of you to boost you up too much to the point that you always need other people to show you that you're good enough. Because the only person you need, remember, is yourself. So essentially, that's the 4-point, guys. I really hope it helps you. If you're struggling in any sort of way with confidence, please message me. I had someone message me in the last video like this, and they said they really enjoyed it. They resonated with it a lot. I know it's a long one, but there's so much detail around confidence. I feel like I could give a whole lecture on this. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Plan to do some more in this whole coronavirus time. Stay tuned. I need to do my hair because I'm sweating right now. And yeah, peace.